Yes, I know. Why am I talking about Wolf Among Us 3? There's literally a point to this video, I promise. I actually have a point to talking about this. So, hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I know you guys are probably like, Percy, why are you talking about the Wolf Among Us 3? Season 2 is literally not out yet. Season 2, we know nothing about. We don't even know when it's releasing. But I really wanted to talk to you guys today because, of course, this led me to an idea on why I'm talking about The Wolf Among Us 3. It's really mainly just to feature The Wolf Among Us, like spin-offs in Season 3, Season 4, if we even get to there. But with The Wolf Among Us, or with Telltale Games, I mean, is that Telltale Games always had The Walking Dead as their main game. Walking Dead was literally the game that, like, boosted up Telltale, and that's what they were really known for. And for the average Telltale gamer, or average gamer, they've really only mainly played like Walking Dead and maybe Wolf Among Us, and so they really were like dependent on like The Walking Dead, and that's why Walking Dead got a bunch of spin-offs. We got the 400 Days DLC, we got Michonne. That's the reason why we have Walking Dead Season 2, 3, and 4, and I wouldn't be surprised if the old Telltale Games would have made more Walking Dead seasons, maybe spin-off characters. I think that was most likely going to happen regardless, but the reason here is that what I talk about is that the new Telltale Games, of course, do not have Walking Dead anymore. They don't have Walking Dead, they don't have Tales from the Borderlands, they don't have Game of Thrones. What I wanted to talk about was that the fact that since they don't have those IPs anymore, the only IPs they have is Telltale's Batman and The Wolf Among Us. So this led to an interesting discussion in my head where I thought of like, what if The Wolf Among Us is Telltale's new Walking Dead? What if we see so much more Wolf Among Us content? What if Season 2 gets DLC if it sells well? What if we get a Season 3? What if we get a spin-off game maybe featuring Snow White as a playable character? Basically, this led to all these discussions that Wolf Among Us could really be Telltale's new Walking Dead. But it's kind of hard to tell, of course, because, well, Season 2 isn't out yet. But it really did lead to a discussion in my head where, could it really happen? Could Wolf Among Us 3 really be Telltale's new Walking Dead? Now, personally for me, I really do think that if Wolf Among Us is their new Walking Dead, like their main franchise games, I definitely think that they should definitely be open-minded towards other Telltale games. And I know people want Tales from the Borderlands 2 and like Game of Thrones Season 2, but at the moment, I don't really think those are really good ideas at the moment, just because it just isn't. I could be wrong though, but in the future. But for now, I really don't think that's the best decision for Telltale to make. I know there's a lot of interest for people to make, for Telltale to make Batman Season 3. I do think it will happen, but just not yet. Of course, just because Wolf Among Us 2 is being worked on. I do think Batman Season 3 could be a possibility that they should do. And with another game such as a new IP, I think a new IP could definitely work out. With Telltale Games making a new IP, of course, we just have to wait and see, just because literally plans could change. It depends how well the Wolf Among Us 2 sells. I would assume if the Wolf Among Us 2 sells great, then they would possibly make a DLC or something for the Wolf Among Us, either that or a spin-off, a short game maybe featuring Snow White as the main playable character. If the Wolf Among Us 2 does not sell well, they will either resort to doing a new IP or doing a third season of Batman. But yeah, it really led to the issue with Walking Dead where it felt like the story was dragging on too long. Like, for example, in Walking Dead Season 2, it really felt like an actual ending. But with Season 3, it kind of ruined Season 2's ending of it actually feeling like an actual ending. So that's kind of like where I'm worried about The Wolf Among Us taking place. But the interesting part about The Wolf Among Us is that it's set around 25 years or 20 years before the comics. So I believe Season 2 will take place 15 years before the comics, if I'm correct, if I'm doing the math right, if I remember timelines. So basically, they can't really, let me try to explain this the best way I could. They can't really do anything crazy of an ending. Like, they sure can do crazy of an ending, but at the same time, the comics are still a thing, so they kind of have to consider that as well, that the comics are a real thing, and it's still the timeline. So that's kind of like where the interesting part is that it's a prequel, and so they don't really have to worry that much about, maybe they could still continue making a bunch of stories about Bigby Wolf. I think it would definitely be more interesting if they definitely focus on other Fabletown characters as a main character. Of course, maybe like Snow White, for example, it would be interesting to see how she played as a main playable character and seeing the point of view from her. But of course, we're gonna have to wait and see what the future holds for Telltale Games and like what they could possibly be doing. I do think that Wolf Among Us could possibly be their main franchise, but at the same time, I don't think they're going to be just focusing on Wolf Among Us, because I think that would be kind of ridiculous in my opinion. I think it would be smart if they either made a new IP or made the third season of Batman. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. There's nothing really a whole lot to talk about. I just want to give my opinions about the future on like what could happen after Wolf Among Us 2 releases. I would love to know you guys' opinion down in the comment section down below. And if you guys did enjoy, be sure to leave a like, subscribe. Really helps our channel a bunch. And thank you guys so much for the amount of support on the recent couple weeks. And yeah, I just want to say thank you, and I'll see you guys later in the next video. Goodbye.